Hello and welcome to Campaign Chronicles, our daily update on the race for the French presidency. Now, after styling himself as a man of the people, Nicolas Sarkozy was all smiles at the opening of this year's Salon de l'Agriculture, that's France. Support in rural communities.
The Paris Agricultural Show always has a political element, and in an election year, that's truer than ever. Opening the show on Saturday, Nicolas Sarkozy was keen to make a good impression, particularly after slip-ups in previous years. In 2008, he swore at a man who insulted him, while his decision not to open the 2010 show offended some farmers. This time, he was all smiles.
What are the French people saying to you? A lot of members of the public tell me, keep your chin up. We're counting on you, keep going. A lot of people have told me that. I won't say everyone, but a very large majority.
Sarkozy hasn't been the only presidential contender at this year's show. Centrist candidate François Bayrou went along on Sunday. He emphasised that he himself used to be a farmer before going into politics.
I'm not here for electioneering. I'm here because of the life of the farming world, its families and its farms, small and large. This life interests me, not just as a politician, but as a man.
Farming still plays a central role in French public life, and while Socialist Party candidate François Hollande is also courting the countryside vote, the farming community traditionally votes to the right. In a poll released last Friday, Nicolas Sarkozy was the leading candidate by some margin amongst this constituency.
And for more on this, I'm now joined by our press reviewer, Florence Villeminot. Hello, Florence.
Good morning.
So what are the papers making of this then, Nicolas Sarkozy and the other candidates heading to the agricultural salon?
Well, the French papers always get a real kick out of this, and it's on the cover of 20 Minutes. The headline is La campagne à la campagne, so it's a play on words because campagne in French obviously means campaign, but it also means countryside. And there you see a photo of François Bayrou yesterday in a sea of journalists looking like he's really eager to get up and see that cow there. And as William was telling us in that package we just saw, it's kind of a mandatory step on the campaign trail. Candidates are eager to show that they're close to farmers, the heartland, rural communities. And Le Figaro points out that it's a real strategy for Sarkozy, the campaigning president. He's eager to woo the agriculturers. There you see it on in Le Figaro. It's also a strategy for other candidates like François Hollande, who's scheduled to appear at the show on Tuesday. According to that article, he's going to arrive early enough to milk the cows. We'll see about that. But not all candidates are giving in to this exercise, especially candidates from the extreme left like Nathalie Arthaud from Lutte Ouvrière and Philippe Poutou from the new anti-capitalist party. They say that they're shunning the fair. They don't want to give in to this media circus that treats people like idiots. But nonetheless, that's what they were saying. The farmer vote is highly sought after, and according to the latest polls, farmers give 35% of their votes to Nicolas Sarkozy and 11% to François Hollande, who comes in fourth in that constituency.
Now, I know that Jacques Chirac was a familiar face. Well, he has been for decades, but apparently this year he's not going. As you mentioned, François Hollande going later this week. Tomorrow, Marine Le Pen will be going as well. Now, she is doing quite well, but a second when it comes to the farmers' vote, and she's also on a mission to consolidate that position.
She's definitely on a mission. She hasn't been to the fair just yet. Yesterday, she was actually at a rally in Châteauroux, which is in the center of France, where a lot of the farming community is. And according to an article in Le Figaro, her goal is very much the same as all the other candidates. She's targeting rural France. Yesterday at her rally, she depicted herself as a defender of the countryside, a defender of small towns and rural villages, protecting them against what she calls the Parisian elite. And a couple of the things she said in that rally yesterday was that she would like to promote public services like transport in the rural communities.
So as I mentioned, second when it comes to the farmers' vote, but third when it comes to overall, according to opinion polls, behind Nicolas Sarkozy and François Hollande.
Yeah, François Hollande and Nicolas Sarkozy are definitely in the lead. By how much, though, is a big question. And there's an interesting article in Le Journal du Dimanche over the weekend, and they said that the size and the gap varies enormously between different opinion polls, and they kind of explore this. For instance, the latest Ipsos Logica consulting poll says that François Hollande has 32% of the vote, Nicolas Sarkozy has 25% of the vote, so that's a 7-point gap. But there's also another poll in the IFOP poll for Paris Match that says that there's only a 1-point gap between the two. So Le Journal du Dimanche is wondering who's right and how can we explain such variations in the polls. And so they go and ask a professor at Sciences Po, Dominique Reynet, who says that we can explain this difference in opinion polls because the campaign is taking place in such a serious crisis. So French people are hesitating a lot between the left and the right. They're hesitating whether to vote with their heads or to vote with their hearts, to vote what they say here in France. And so we can explain that poll because people are basically, they haven't made up their minds yet. They keep changing their minds. So until they make up their minds, there'll be a big variation in opinion
And
polls.
just a couple of weeks ago, it was as much as 10 points gap between those two candidates. So yeah, it's still in the running. Both of them, we'll have to wait and see a few weeks to see what happens.
Definitely keeps us on our toes, though.
Absolutely, keeps it interesting. Thank you very much, Florence, for that. That was Campaign Chronicles, and that's it for this half hour of Live from Paris. Thanks for watching. Do stay tuned.
The new technologies, the latest digital innovations and their impact on society. Tech24, the unmissable high-tech rendezvous, every Monday at 4:45 p.m. Paris time on France 24. Live from our studio, a debate on the subject of the day with experts, newsmakers and observers. For political or economical issues and questioning society, join us for analysis and in-depth talk. The Debate, Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Paris time on France 24.